after year. Every truth we face it clear.
Yo, welcome back to the Growth Unscripted podcast. Today I'm actually here with somebody very phenomenal today. Jett, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing great. How we feeling?
Oh, bro, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling ecstatic. How about you?
I'm hanging in there. Same soup, just reheated.
Ooh, same suit, just reheated. Hold up. Listen, you can just start the podcast all speaking some fire like that.
Hey, man, you gotta switch it up a little bit.
Jeez, brother, like dang, that you just hit me out of nowhere with that one. That was a right hook. Jeez, how you feeling?
Life is good right now. Weather's starting to break.
Finally.
We getting a taste of what summer is gonna feel like. I'm excited, man. Richmond looks good in the summertime.
Facts. Yeah, this whole cold winter storm we had these last couple of months. Bro, I can't tell you how many times I'm so glad that I've been waiting for this day.
Yes. I have a very bad feeling that this warm weather is only temporary, though. I feel like we're going to get some like real cold weather to bounce back from this real warm weather.
Can at least happen towards the end of this year?
I don't have any control over that.
I mean, can you?
I don't.
I don't want no more. I don't want no more.
Me neither.
Virginia,
but it's just
is
too
crazy.
early. It's too early for Richmond to be this warm.
True.
I have a feeling it's not going to last. I hope it does, but I have a feeling it won't.
Well, if Virginia is strong as it's supposed to be, then it will last.
Hey, we gonna hold on to it.
We will hold on to it, absolutely. All right, so for those who don't know you, right, can you actually introduce yourself and what you do?
Yeah, my name is Jett Williams. I'm a content creator and event curator. You know, I make content about where to go out in Richmond, for nightlife particularly, and I host and curate events myself. I like to think of myself as a curator because I don't want to just put anything out there. I like to meticulously craft what it is that I put together to make sure that it's something that the masses actually want or didn't know that they wanted.
I like that. So tell me though, like, so what got you even want to get into the content creation field anyway in the beginning? Like, how did that all start for you?
Well, I was just always a person that loved to go out. So I grew up around people that were involved in nightlife. Like my uncle and my dad were, you know, heavily involved with After Six. That was a nightclub that shut down in 02, 03 because of the flood. And After Six was like a really popular club here in Richmond. So if you weren't in Richmond at that time, definitely ask your parents about it. They probably went to After Six.
My mom probably would know more than anybody.
Probably. So I grew up hearing about the stories of them running After Six and being in nightlife. My dad was working in security, so I heard a lot of the fun stories that he had growing up. So that was just always in the back of my mind. And then my brother was also in nightlife as well. He was, you know, one of the original guys in a big ass cookout. So I had started going to those when I was 14, when they used to be in the backyard. You know, I was just always there. So I've been around a lot of the people that I'm around in Richmond way back like 10 years ago, and they didn't even realize it because obviously I was a lot smaller, a little less hairy at that point in my life. But watching him be involved in the scene and see the changes that he was able to make. Plus, you know, my mom and my sister always loved hosting events, so all of that just came together. I like to go out. I like to party. And I was known as the guy who always had the plans on where to go for the weekends. And people were like, oh, you should definitely record and make videos about where you're going so people can know where to go out for the weekend. Shout out, you know, Taylor and Jessica. They were the ones that really pushed hard for me to do that. And I was like, all right, well, let me start posting like some small stuff about where I'm going. I'm like, all right, I'm going here this weekend, blah, blah, blah. Let's see how it is. And then I just started getting really consistent at it. I think I only did it like once every couple weeks, and then I would do recaps of where I went. But then I started doing it weekly, and that's when I noticed, you know, the consistency starting to pay off.
Okay.
So the going out came first and the content creation followed. It was just a natural progression.
So kind of like because you was around like, you know, the environment of people, it kind of like, I guess you say, enticed you or motivated you to kind of like, oh, I want to get into this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. What is it? So when you start getting into this content creation world, right? Was this something that I'm gonna keep it moving.
It's all right.
I'm gonna let you talk.
Show must go on.
It must go on. So when you got into this content creation, right? What was about it that really? Did you feel like that this is did you see yourself like, you know, if I get into content creation, this is gonna like be like my way out type of deal? Like what was it like that was kind of going through your head during that time?
When you say way out, like way out of what?
Like way out as in like, like it's gonna take you to like that next level or what you're pursuing, right?
Yeah. I mean, I just never really thought about doing content much, period. Because I've never really considered myself a particularly creative person. Like, don't really listen to music that heavily. I'm definitely listening for the vibes. Color theory beats my ass. I can't get color theory right for anything. But I've always had big ideas and I always like executing on them. And I just think content creation was just a natural progression of all the stuff that I was already doing. It's something that the people wanted from me. So getting into it was just a no-brainer once that idea was put in my head. So I was like, all right, that works. I'm gonna keep doing it. Rock out.
Hey, I love it though. Good, that's good. So let's back up a little bit. So going back into like growing up, were you born and raised in Virginia?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Henrico, Virginia.
Henrico? Okay. And while you was growing up, what was like your initial goals, of course, before content and all that stuff even became a thing? What was like some of your goals back then when you was growing up?
I mean, back when I was like really, really young, I had thought about becoming an author. I really liked writing stories. I liked writing books and, you know, making up storylines to a lot of different things. But a lot of the time I didn't finish on whatever it is that I was working on or writing just because I lost interest and it wasn't really something that excited me. I just liked having ideas and putting pen to paper. But I always knew from a young age that I wanted to host events when I grew up. Because again, I saw my brother doing it. My mom and my sister did it, you know, mainly for in the home. But, you know, to see somebody doing it professionally and growing up around that, I always knew ultimately that's something that I wanted to do, even if it was only part-time on the side. You know, I had a lot of different phases of what I wanted my life to look like, but that's something that's always been pretty consistent.
Okay. I got, for me, I actually, funny enough, I wanted to play professional football.
Yeah, I mean, you're built for it.
Built for it. Coach had favoritism though, so it didn't go nowhere.
That's all right.
So I wanted to do that. Then there was one time where I did play soccer. So I was a goalie and everything, right?
Same.
So what position you played?
Goalie.
You play goalie too? Hey, nice. So one of the best parts that we loved about being goalie was when somebody tried to run up and try to get the ball in, you get the chance to slide in and take it from them. Oh, I love that.
Well, it's an unbeatable feeling.
It is.
It's an unbeatable feeling.
Especially there was low-key tired talk shit and shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, I got something for you.
Yeah, I remember when I was in high school, I was playing soccer. This is around the time when Colin Kaepernick had started taking the knee during the national anthem. And, you know, I would kneel during our games, you know, for the national anthem as well. And this particular game, it was at Patrick Henry, which if people aren't familiar, it's a very white school. And obviously I got a lot of shit from parents and students on the sidelines talking shit during the game, talking shit in my ear when I'm in the goal, trying to focus on the game. And obviously, you know, I got to take that to heart. I got to take that vindictiveness that they have.
And convert it.
Yeah, and convert it into energy to convince me to win. I can't remember how that game went, but I'm pretty sure we won, you know.
I hope y'all won. I hope
No,
so.
I do think we won because they were very mad at the end of the game. So I feel like we won.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, actually, when I was in JROTC class, this is like the point of my life where like I started learning more about the world, right, in high school.
Yeah.
And I decided to not stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance. And so when I wasn't doing that, my instructor was getting pissed or whatever.
Oh yeah, JROTC and not standing for the pledge is kind of crazy.
Yeah, this like it's like throwing a racial slur around at that point, right to their face.
Yeah.
So, like when I did it, he was asking me like, why didn't I stand? I was like, because this country's built on lies. Why should I stand for a country that's built on lies, right?
Yeah.
And I gave my whole breakdown speech or whatever, and he just told me that if I didn't stand up again, that I'm going to get not expelled, but he said that I'm just gonna get kicked out of the class. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, you got to stand for something.
Right.
Yeah.
But I ain't gonna stand for something that's built off lies.
Exactly.
What sense does that make?
Right.
So I agree. I get where you're coming from though, and I'm glad y'all kicked their ass too.
Yeah.
I'm glad. So, how was it for you in your childhood growing up though? How was that?
I was very fortunate. I had an amazing childhood. I grew up with both of my parents. They divorced when I was pretty young, but both of them were very active, very present in my life. So, a large reason of why I have the character and morals that I do is because of what they've instilled in me. Lived primarily with my mom growing up, but, as I aged into adulthood, I started living with my dad more just because it makes more sense to live with him as an adult man than with my mom, because it just lines up a lot better than with her. But I had a great childhood. I can't really say I had to want for anything. Obviously, there are things that I wanted and didn't always get, but I didn't have to worry about where my next meal was coming from. I never had to worry about like not being able to achieve something because of my socioeconomic status. It was, I had a very easy life. I was obviously taught the importance of hard work and having work ethic, but I never really had to learn things the hard way because I had people around me that were willing to teach me and make it easier for me to get to where I wanted to be.
So you had pretty much a really nice, safe, and secure village.
Yes.
People you can talk to, confide to if need be.
Yep.
I love that. Not everybody gets that.
They don't.
Unfortunately.
And I'm very lucky. Even though they divorced, they still had an amicable relationship where they might not have liked each other much all the time, but they still came together as a team when it came to me and my siblings. So I'm always appreciative of that.
That's good. I love that. That's good. I'm happy for you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. What was it? So tell me, what was it that you really, when you started, like you said, you had a good childhood and everything and whatnot. Did you go to college?
I did.
What college did you go to?
Longwood University.
Longwood? Hey,
Yeah.
shout out.
Class of 24.
Shout out. I didn't want to go to Longwood. I actually wanted to go to Full Sail University.
Where is that?
That's in Winter Park, Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, so their school was set up to where so if I wanted learn about videography or cinema, film or something like that, their school is set up to where you kind of dive right into it more so you get more hands-on experience.
Is it like an art school?
Some like art school, yeah, because they even had it to where they have events like hiring events type of thing to where you can showcase your work.
Yeah.
And they have big companies come to the college like Sony, Microsoft, Google, stuff like that. And I wanted to go but couldn't physically go. I could take the online, so I did do online for about 3 months.
Okay.
And then I got bored. It was just
too.
Yeah, because it's we not only. I mean, I wouldn't have a problem. Of course, every school had to have a curriculum, and of course, there's certain things I have to learn or whatever. But I wouldn't have no problem with it if I was physically there.
Yeah.
Because at least I would know, okay, one, I'm not at home, I'm there. So I'm in a different environment. On top of that, I get to meet new people and converse with them. And also I get a chance to actually, be hands-on when we do start getting into those other things, right? But doing it from online, yeah.
Well, you're preaching to the choir here as someone who graduated in the class of 2020. I know all about, virtual classes and asynchronous learning. I hate it.
It was like almost mind-numbing, right?
Yeah, very mind-numbing. It was probably one of the reasons why I didn't have such a good experience in school. It definitely got better towards the end, but in the beginning, when we were still doing hybrid classes and still in the heavy midst of COVID, it wasn't fun.
Oh man, I can only imagine. I can only imagine.
It was rough. Yeah.
Sheesh. So, tell me, what is one unique thing about you that you feel like, that really helps you out when it comes to be able to meet new people and connect and make those connections?
I'm not afraid to be seen. I think a lot of people are. I'm not afraid to put myself out there. I'm not afraid to, look, what did people say? I'm not scared of looking desperate or like I'm interested, because I am interested. I want to meet new people. I want to learn about people, and I'm curious about the things that other people have going on. I show up for other people the way that I would want people to show up for me. I'm a strong believer that if you care about somebody or you want to maintain a relationship with them, you have to be willing to inconvenience yourself sometimes.
Agreed.
And I really noticed that a lot of people aren't used to people showing up for them the way that I show up for other people. And I feel really good about being able to make people feel good about the work that they put out. Because a lot of times people make connections to further some larger goal. But just like how we talked about earlier, it's not necessarily about where you're going, it's how you're getting there. Sometimes you gotta take stops, you gotta stop and smell the roses. And sometimes the roses are people that you meet along the way.
Okay. I like that. So let's actually dive a little deeper into that.
Okay.
So tell me, why do you think that some people just can't handle, why do you think it's hard for people to make decent friends nowadays?
I think a lot of people base their friendships off of aesthetics. They base it off of who they want to be around, not necessarily who's most compatible with the lifestyle that they're living. And that's not to say you can't be friends with people. You have different lifestyles, and I'm friends with plenty of different walks of life. But at the end of the day, you need to make sure you have similar goals, similar morals, at least similar morals. You don't have to have similar goals, but, similar attitudes about life is probably what I'm getting at when I say so.
Be more aligned?
Yeah, you have to have alignment morally. Financially isn't super important, but it can put a big strain on the relationship if there's a very big imbalance.
Especially if you always have that one broke friend,
right?
And
right.
you always hey bro, let's go out or at least do something. But they're I can't.
Exactly.
Stuff like that. So I can agree with you on that.
I think it's the constant nitpicking also of friends. You have to be a lot more forgiving and understanding of certain things. Just because someone can't make your birthday dinner or can't make, every event that you've got going on, or doesn't talk to you every single day, that doesn't mean they don't love you, doesn't mean they don't care about you. It just means they have other stuff going on. And a lot of people are very quick to cut people out of their lives when they're not serving every single thing that they feel like they should be serving.
Agreed.
And I think forgiveness and understanding is a big part of what I do. When I was younger, I took a lot of things very personally. But as I grew up and matured, I learned to not take things to the heart. You know, you roll with the punches. If shit doesn't go your way, that's fine. It's cool. Now, if it's malicious intent, then you can have a conversation about that. But for the most part, I try my best not to take things personally because I know other people have other shit going on. I'm not the center of anyone's world but my own.
Well put.
Yeah.
Well put. I believe as well that a lot of people nowadays think of things as more as transactional.
Yes.
More than anything.
Very much
right? So like as they're willing to still deal with that person as long as they're able to still get something out of them.
Right.
That's really all that they're really looking for out of that person, right?
Right.
So like when it does finally come a time to where, okay, they want you to help them out with something, right? You always make an excuse about something all the time. Yeah. You like, oh yeah, I can't make it, or I can't do this, right? And people, now, of course, not everybody, but there is definitely a good decent amount of people who hide their intentions, their true intentions. Right. And it's very hard for a person to really like decipher or figure out what is their true intentions about, you know, what is it they're trying to get from them. Right. Yeah. And I believe that if we can actually, as a people, take the time to realize, especially from, of course, we're talking about in terms of general, I could actually be more singular with it, because if I were to be more singular with it, and let's just say like an actual like relationship, dating relationship type of position, right? That people always tend to take and take and take, but they're never really willing to give. And then also I've known, especially from my experience, that a lot of people just don't really give a fuck about how you really feel. Yeah. They don't. They can put on a facade, 100%, but they never really give a fuck about how you really feel. Yeah. And when you put in so much time and energy by trying to be your most intentional, true self, that they may use it as, they may think of it or see from their position as like you're portraying as something that you're not. Yeah. And that can cause somebody to really, you know, try to at least think differently. Think differently of you. Yeah. Or at least think differently of you, but you're trying to show them though that you have true intent behind what you're trying to do. Yeah. So I think a lot of people too is just they're just very, very like extremely cautious. Yeah. Extremely cautious. Have you ever had an experience like that? Like where like you try to like, you know, be very intentional about who you are, you be true about who you are, but that person would then look at it from their perspective and they believe that you are something else entirely, or believe that they think that you're something else entirely when you're not. So like, for example, all right, let's just say that you're talking about your past or whatever. Okay. And let's just say that after you spoke your side on it, honestly, in my version of it, I'm looking at it as like going out every night, smoking and drinking, doing, I don't know, God knows what, to be honest. Like that's at least like my version of it, right? Because I'll be honest, I don't really go out like that unless it makes sense for me to go out. Unless it's like a networking event, or like, you know, I already had like prior plans with somebody. But I would say that I wouldn't mind doing an Afrobeats party. I wouldn't mind doing something like that. Yeah. Because at least I have heard plenty of times, especially while I was in Atlanta, and when they have Afrobeats parties, people are literally just there to dance. Oh, literally. Just to dance. I
went to one last night. The vibes were immaculate.
All right, you want to let me know where some Afrobeats parties are then. Because I like Afrobeats. I love Afrobeats. Because I even heard that, like, you know, if a person's all posted up on the wall and stuff, they actually looked at it like it's weird. Yeah. Because why are you posted up on the wall?
You are a weirdo. Get on the floor and dance. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's something I got to be a lot better about too. it's also just Richmond doesn't have a whole lot of those types of Afrobeats parties. If there are, they're on a much smaller scale than like other events that might occur. You know, Red Light Reggae is probably the biggest Afrobeats party that Richmond has. Shout out, Thank You Come Again, and Marcus Gold. You know, that's who does it and puts it on. So that's a great event, and you're definitely going to be dancing if you go there. 100%.
And they have, how many times throughout the year they have it?
It's the first weekend of every month.
The first weekend of every month. Okay, noted.
Yeah.
And it's called Red Light Reggae.
Yeah, it gets packed in there. If you like to dance, you know, mix it up with strangers, you're gonna have the time of your life.
All right, look, you'll be my wingman.
Look, you know, I've done it before.
All right, cool.
I've done it before.
We're gonna talk. We're gonna
Yeah, we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk. I got you.
Cause like, you know, listen, even if we gotta finesse it to where, like, you know, they start playing some Afrobeat music and we're gonna come like a dance battle routine, right? To where that we're gonna find whoever else is in there is grouped up. We're gonna have a dance battle with them. We're gonna practice choreography. And we're gonna execute it.
I think you're overthinking it.
You
just go in there, see someone you want to dance with, go ask them, hey, I thought you were gorgeous. Do you want to dance? They'll either say yes or no. They say no. All right, I hope you have a good night. Walk away. Find somebody else to dance with. They say yes. Dance with them. It's that simple, I promise you.
It's that simple.
A lot of guys really overthink the dancing in club situation. Literally, all I do is I ask, hey, do you want to dance? There's different variations of that, but I just ask. First, you know, you want to build comfort. You want to make sure they know that you care about their boundaries and if they actually want to or not.
Of course.
I'm not really the type to just walk up on somebody
and then start dancing.
Yeah. Unless we have an already built rapport.
I mean, yeah, of course.
That's acceptable. But just someone that I'm seeing out, I'm always going to ask. The first couple times I'm always going to ask until that rapport is built out. But for the most part, it's real simple. The more simple it is, the more likely it's going to work. All this overcomplicated stuff, that's when you start losing them. I'm coming from sales, so a big thing we always say in sales is a confused mind doesn't buy. You know?
Right.
The more complicated you make something, the more likely they are to say no. So keep it stupid simple.
Okay. Noted. I got you. Cause like I know how to talk.
Yeah.
That part's no problem.
Yeah.
I would say though that's probably another thing too why I never really go out to places because it's so loud. So it's like I can't really even have a conversation in that type of way if I wanted to.
True.
So it's like, okay, then how would I like, you know, if I did see somebody that I liked, right? How would I really approach it in a way? Well, I mean, like, you know, yelling in their ear all night.
I mean, you just get close. You know, you ask them, you lean in, you're like, hey, you know, what's your name? You look nice tonight. I was wondering if you wanted to dance. And then you dance. You don't really need to do much talking at that point.
Okay.
If you guys have good chemistry, get the number, Instagram, whatever.
And then you go from there.
Yeah. Schedule a date or a time to meet up. Then you can talk. The club isn't for talking.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's to see if you guys have chemistry.
You know, I never once even thought about it that way. So you actually provided some insight. People, he has now provided a playbook. Okay? A playbook. Just so y'all know. Taught me something new. I'll be honest. Because I don't really get that much.
I mean, that's one of the more popular series I do when I make content is like club and dating etiquette for men. You know, a lot of the women I run across are like, yo, that video you posted is real. You know, if people started doing that, I wouldn't even mind dancing with men again. I hate that they just force themselves. They try to do all this extra stuff. Just be respectful and treat me like a person. That's all I ask.
Respectfully.
It's real straightforward. It's real straightforward, you know? Especially in the club, I always say an easy way to go to dance with women is remember the 3 C's. That's connect. What type of connection did you have? Did you make eye contact? Did you talk earlier in the night? Did you have something where she was aware of your presence before you walked up on her? Second is comfort. That's where you ask, hey, is it cool if I dance with you? Make sure she knows it's okay if she says no. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
You want to make sure they feel comfortable. Do not corner them. You know?
Oh yeah, I know that.
A lot of people don't though.
Yeah, some men really don't know how to take a no for an answer.
Exactly. You got to make them feel comfortable enough to dance with you first and to want to dance with you. So you've already got to be dancing. You've already got to have the energy that you want to have with somebody else. Because if they see you just standing in the corner, looking crazy as hell, not dancing, just staring,
just scoping out the room.
Yeah, they know you're sharking, as people call it. They know you're sharking. Yeah,
sharking. That's a new one for me.
And
I never heard that before.
Nobody wants to feel like they're being hunted. You know, so you've already got to be on the floor dancing. They know of you already because they see you already have energy. And then the third is consent. That's asking, like, hey, can I dance with you?
Okay. So, are you gonna have an ebook or anything like this coming out soon?
No ebook, just content.
Just content?
Free, for the free ski.
Okay, free ski.
For the free ski.
He ain't charging right now.
So get in while it's hot.
Yeah, before it's too late.
All right.
And then next thing you know, you have to pay him like $5 just to even find out how to talk to a woman in the club.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Bro, there's people who spent money for less.
I understand.
I'm just saying, like, but if you see a value.
The way I look at it, though, is I want to revive faith in nightlife. That's one of my mission statements. Revive faith in nightlife. And if we want to do that, we can't gatekeep the information that's going to make that happen.
Agreed.
And the main thing that's going to make that happen is making sure the women feel comfortable again. Because one of my favorite things to do is dance with a beautiful woman. And the more safe they feel, the more beautiful women I can dance with. You know what I'm saying?
Respectfully, yep.
Plus, I'm a curator myself. I host events myself. I think if you are in that space, the type of people that you have at your events are your responsibility. So you have to set the precedent on what type of behavior is acceptable at the events that you're curating. So by making these videos, it's telling people what I will and will not accept at my events. If you're coming in doing some bullshit, you're getting the boot. If you're doing weird shit, being predatory to the girls, you gotta go. I'm not tolerating that.
Zero tolerance.
Zero tolerance. And I think a lot of people in nightlife, we can be honest about it, nightlife is, it's ripe for predators. It's rife with people who have genuine issues that they need to overcome, that they're overcompensating for by exerting control over other people. I don't feel the need to do that. You know I can attract people based off of who I am, not because of what I can get them. People naturally want to be around me. I don't have to bribe them to be around me. I don't have to give them X, Y, and Z to be around me. I'm naturally magnetic. Other people in nightlife don't have it like that. They're making up for something that they lack. They don't have self-confidence. They don't love themselves.
They lie profusely.
Exactly. And they're trying to hide a pattern of behavior that everyone can see, whether they want to admit it or not.
Wow. You know, this is like the first time I ever like think deeply on nightlife like that, on like that type of perspective. And I'm pretty sure you definitely have some stories of things you probably have seen or even had to deal with and stuff like that. So tell me, what is one of your main goals in terms of your field of what you're doing now? What's like one of your main goals you want to see happen?
Well, I want to see a shift in culture. I want people to start treating others with more respect. I want people to be able to have a good time when they go out. I want you to have an experience that's worth the money that you're going to be spending. And I think that's a huge issue. A lot of people that go into nightlife, they do it because it's a way to make money. It's a way to make big money. Like I said, I don't care about sections. I don't care about bottles. That's where most of the money from Nightlife is coming from. I don't care to do that. I want to provide experiences that people are willing to pay for. And that goes back to, people naturally wanting to be around me. Same thing goes for my events. Yes, people appreciate it when you give them free tickets or free drinks. Everyone appreciates that, right?
Right.
But that's not going to fix the issue of not enjoying the experience while you're there. It makes it less likely that you're going to complain. Now, I'm not at a point right now where I can just freely give hella free tickets, hella free drinks. I've got to build up my brand. I've got to make sure I have enough money to pay the people that I need to pay.
Agreed, of course.
But at the end of the day, my goal is to provide experiences that people feel good about spending their money on. Because then I know they're actually enjoying the experience and not going just because, oh, well, I know he's going to give me free tickets. Oh, I'm going because he's going to get me drinks. Do you actually enjoy the experience? Do you want to be
And not just there just for
right?
Okay.
Do you want to be here? Yes? Awesome. We can move forward. No? Maybe I'm not the person for you. Maybe I'm not the curator for you. And that's all right. You can't be for everyone.
Are you thinking about, you ever thought about, or I guess probably in the works of getting like sponsors to kind of help sponsor the events and stuff to make it a little easier? Okay.
I've already got a couple sponsors for a couple of the events that I've done thus far. And it's not necessarily, someone paying the DJs for me or anything like that. Mm-hmm. Ultimately, that's something I would be very excited and open to doing. I feel like I've got a lot more to earn. I've got to earn my stripes a little bit more before sponsors are going to be ready to take on something like that. I have to prove myself a little bit more. Right?
Right.
But as far as sponsors go, I do raffles at some of my events. I have a lot of businesses that donated to those raffles to make it possible to do them. The last event that I had, shout out Body of a Goddess. They donated body oils and body butters. Shout out Up and Smoke Hookah. They donated a brand new hookah set that I could give away. Shout out Rimsol Wellness. They gave away a free massage. Stars Kicks donated a $200 gift card. And there's a ton of other businesses that donated a lot. Drink Crave, donated, cans of their alcohol for me to give to my influencers that showed up and made videos for me. And this next event I'm very excited about some of the sponsors I have coming up, but we're still in works for that one, so I can't reveal who those are yet.
Understood.
But I have sponsors on a smaller scale, and ultimately I would like to work up to having sponsors on a larger scale. I have a lot of work to do in order to be ready to receive those larger sponsors.
Okay then. Got you. You got some big stuff coming then, bro.
Yeah, we got some stuff coming up the pipeline.
I can't wait. Now I'm even more motivated now when it comes to one of your events now.
Yeah, there you go.
More motivated.
I've been told by a lot of people that they only come out if it's something that I'm hosting or something that I'm promoting.
But that just means that you got weight. You carry a lot of weight. Just saying.
I'd rather have the impact than the numbers on social media. Because there's a bunch of people that have a bunch of followers, but they can't translate it into action.
Agreed. And I'm always I'm big on more impact than anything.
Right.
Because I said plenty of times, it don't matter how many followers you really got on Instagram, TikTok, or whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. If you don't really have people who are literally that you are actually providing positive action to, don't mean nothing.
It doesn't mean anything.
Not at all. So look, what is it? How can everybody get in contact with you? Where they can find you at?
They can find me at The Chosen Jett on Instagram, also on TikTok, and then they can find my event page at the Jet Setter Experience. We're undergoing a rebrand right now, but until then, at the Jet Setter Experience.
Jet Setter Experience. All right. Well, look, is there any events you got coming up?
Yeah, 100%. We've got What a Time to Be Alive. That's the Drake and Future event that I'm doing a collab with Jay Slim on. No standing around. Shout out Jay Slim.
Shout out.
Richmond's very own rock star. I believe that'll be passed by the time this video comes out though, right?
Cause you said what day is going to be?
That'll be March 13th.
March 13th? Yeah, it'll be after.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
So it's be after.
Well, I'm co-hosting a networking brunch, the Brunch on Broad with Maya the Beauty. We love Maya. That's going to be a great time with royalty. I'm blanking on the name, but the In the Mix podcast guys.
In the Mix, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the In the Mix podcast, they're hosting the Brunch on Broad, and I think it's Royalty ENT, now that I'm thinking about it. But shout out them, the Brunch on Broad with me and Maya the Beauty. That's going to be March 22nd, if I believe. And then I'm also hosting my second Women of the Culture event on March 28th.
March 28th, Women of the Culture event.
Yep.
Okay. Question: Is there you have thrown themed events like this before though, haven't you?
Yes.
Okay. Could you
Yes.
give somebody like the insight for at least the one that's coming to say on the 22nd, and then the one for the women? Can you give them like a little more insight of the experience of how that's going to be?
Yeah, so the networking brunch event for the Brunch on Broad, that's just a great opportunity for people who want to get connected with other like-minded individuals who are a little intimidated by normal networking events, but still want to get out and meet new people, don't necessarily like to club, but they still like good music, they like dancing, and they like making connections. This is going to be great for those types of people. It'll allow you the opportunity to meet other individuals like yourself in a low pressure environment. It's not super transactional like other networking events are, and it's an opportunity to get connected with some of Richmond's favorite creatives, like myself and Maya the Beauty. But also a lot of other great creatives are going to be pulling through.
Nice. It's gonna be lit.
It's going to be lit. And then for the Women of the Culture event, that's an event that I started to appreciate everything that women do for nightlife, because I'm often told by my homegirls that they feel underserved and underrepresented in the nightlife scene. They feel like they're not being catered to anymore, and this goes back to having to bribe people to come out to your events. Fortunately, Richmond has a lot of really awesome promoters, a lot of really great organizers, I think, that do a really good job at doing stuff for the women. But at the end of the day, a lot of times they're still catering to the sensibilities of men. They're not playing the music that women want to hear, and they're not doing things that women are willing to spend their money on. You know, I've been told a million times women don't spend money in nightlife, and I was like, that's not true. They spend money on the things that they find value in. We're just not providing anything that they see value in buying that they can get a man to buy for them if they're going to go out. You know, so I'm hosting this event as a way to show them that they are appreciated, and to show other organizers that we just have to step our game up and do more for them to make them want to spend their money. Because obviously the more money that they make, the more that we can invest into making a memorable experience for everybody. So for this event, it's all female DJ lineups. That's one of the biggest things that women tell me that they want to see, is they want to know more female DJs. I use this as an opportunity to highlight a lot of the female DJs that I love. It's also, I think it's the first party that I've seen that only plays music from female artists. So that's also something that women tell me they want to see more of, is hear more music by the women. You know, they want to hear more Beyonce. They want to hear more Glorilla. They want to hear more Monaleo. And by focusing only on female artists for the event, it gives you the opportunity to play songs that don't normally get the shine that they deserve. Like, I love Flo Milli. I love listening to Monaleo. I love listening to Maya the Dawn. These are all people that, you know, you're starting to hear a little bit more Monaleo in the functions now. But to hear them featured heavily and not just used as a transition into the next song, I think the women really appreciate. The first one went really well. You know, everyone had a blast, and there's a lot of buzz around the second one. So I think the girls definitely should pull up if they've been looking for more events that cater to them.
Okay, well, y'all heard it here. Make sure y'all come out and make sure y'all go bring your bodies, bring your mind, bring your spirit, and bring that energy.
Yep.
Because it's going to be a lit one.
It's going to be a lit one.
It's going to be a lit one. Jett, I appreciate you, bro.
I appreciate you.
Thank you so much for coming on today.
Yes, sir.
Man, if there's any words of wisdom, or let's just say real quick, let's just say that somebody wanted to, like, you know what, they feel motivated by hearing by you becoming a nightlife promoter and stuff. What kind of like words of advice can you give them if they were wanted to like get into something like that?
Pick up that camera and start recording. There's going to be a lot of opportunities that open for you if you just put yourself out there. I've had a lot of doors open to me just because I decided to make myself known. Do that and show up for other people the way that you want to be shown up for, and it's going to come to you a lot easier than not.
Nice, beautifully put. All right. Well, if y'all like this episode, make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to follow us for more content, and also as well, make sure to leave down in the comments what is it y'all want to hear next, and what's some topics or what are something that I want me to talk about, and I'll make sure you get the right guests and make sure that we be able to provide y'all the best experience possible. But we'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace out.
Peace.